Aguilar started making preamps back in 1995. I was a studio musician in New York City, and when I went to sessions, I wanted to bring my own preamp to be able to create my own sound and have a good bass sound. Because sometimes you go to the studio and they'd have a good preamp and you'd sound good, sometimes you didn't. So I looked all over for somebody to help me design one. And I had known Alex Aguilar from working on a preamp design for Roger Sadowski years ago. And we hooked up, got together. I drew the design for the DB680, the first product. I drew it out on a napkin. We discussed it, and he built it. And when we were done, we kind of looked at each other and said, other people might want to buy this. And that was the beginning of Aguilar Amplification. We became partners, and that was our only product. We didn't really know what it was going to take to become a manufacturer, but we thought, here's something that professional bass players would take to a recording studio and get a better sound and be happy about. We learned a lot along the way. Alex left the company in 2003, and I've continued on building the company, Aguilar Amplification. A lot has changed, a lot of new products, but we started with the DB680, all-tube preamp. Actually had 2 parametric EQs in it, ganged resistor switch on the back for controlling the balanced output level. Very much designed for recording. The first few years we focused really on bass products, bass amplifiers that were using tubes. So there was a progression of products. We had a 400-watt all-tube monoblock, the DB728. We had a 200-watt tube amp, the DB359. And these were kind of good products. They sounded great, but they're very heavy, very expensive to build and to own. Eventually we made the DB751, which is a hybrid head. And that head is all-tube preamp section and a very powerful MOSFET power section. And that amplifier has been in continuous production since 2002, and we still make it. In 1998, we realized we were making amplifiers but not speakers. So we designed the GS series, and that was our first line of speaker cabinets. So as things progressed, we kind of said, okay, we can do more. We can make more products for bass players, always thinking about amplification needs. Years later, about I think maybe 12 years ago, we felt that we could make great effects pedals for bass players. We felt that the market for bass players was not really being addressed in pedals, because so many guitar players guitar pedals I should say, sound great for guitars, but they roll off low end. We started making pedals, the Optimizer, the Filter Twin, and those became a very good product for us. So again, Aguilar being all the electronics in a bass player's signal chain. The pickups was the last thing we started to do. I guess it's been about 8 years now. For a long time we've made the OBP preamp that goes inside the bass, an onboard preamp. And we'd always talked about making pickups, but we were unsure if we really could make a great pickup. Finally, we decided to try and found that not only could we make a great sounding pickup, but we really enjoy making pickups. Now the pickup area for us is a big area of growth. We're always adding new pickup models. We have precision, jazz, soap bars, and it's a lot of fun. So pickups, effects pedals, now we make super lightweight amplifiers, lightweight speaker cabinets, and still the DB751, the big amp. Here in New York, we actually have a 12,000 square foot loft in Soho, which is a very nice part of New York. And all the electronics are made here. So the assembly happens here. Some of the metal work doesn't get made here, it gets made in New Jersey. The circuit boards come from Pennsylvania. But all the sub-assemblies and the assemblies are made here. We do a process that's called single piece flow. And this is very important to the quality of Aguilar amplification. That means that a worker gets his work order in the morning and he says, build this amplifier. And that one worker is going to build the amplifier from start to finish and has to do the initial test for quality. And after that quality test is over, a quality inspector looks at that test, looks at that amplifier, and tests it again for what he might be looking for. Then it burns in for 8 hours. Then it gets a play test to make sure that it actually sounds and feels correct. So there's a lot of quality control, and that's the important part about single piece flow, is you can't really build a bad batch of amplifiers. You can build one that doesn't work, but you know right away that it doesn't, and you can find out what went wrong. It might be a part that's out of tolerance, or an assembler who needs to be retrained. But you know right away. And this is the kind of quality control we like to have at our shop. And it's a lot of hand assembly, but that I think is less important than the quality control and how we look at the quality, how often we take a look at it. In making products, a lot of times it's a question of how many times do you look at it and when do you look at it when you're building a product. And here at Aguilar, we pride ourselves on making high quality product that's reliable. At Aguilar, we're very proud of the professional musicians that use our amplifiers touring, recording. We consider them family. So it's our Aguilar artist family. And really we welcome anybody who's playing Aguilar, even if they're not famous, to the Aguilar artist family. We're very proud that great musicians who play jazz use the products, rock musicians, every style of music, R&B, hip hop. He's a great Polish musician, Wojtek, terrific player. So all around the world, great musicians are using Aguilar products. And we're very proud of the fact that they're using our tools in their creativity. So at Aguilar, we consider that what we're doing is building a great musical tool for the musician to work with. So the hard part is for the artist to create some good music. We actually have the easy job. We get to make the tool. That's our creative contribution. And we're very pleased that so many well-known musicians are using Aguilar to create music. And we're happy to be part of anybody's music where they choose Aguilar for their musical tools. Here at Aguilar, for a long time we've gotten our assemblers from training programs for recording engineers. So we get young people, they're very trainable. I like working with young people because they actually listen better than people my age. Once you get to my age, you don't listen anymore. Greg, you know what I'm saying. So, but the assemblers we get, they're interested in the technology of music. Because they want it to be recording engineers, they want to know how to make the sounds. And they're very interested in musical instruments and the fact that we're making them here. They have a commitment to the product. It's really important to them. I would say the majority of our assemblers are guitar or bass players. We have a couple drummers in there too. And a few that aren't musicians. But generally we get them from, they're right out of recording engineer school. At Aguilar, we have a motto of constant improvement. Can we improve the quality of Aguilar's products? Can we improve the quality of the designs? We always want to think of designs for pickups, amplifiers, and cabinets that bring something more than what's on the market and bring something more than perhaps even we've brought to the market. So we're going to continue to try to innovate and grow our product lines and be the high quality brand that people know around the world, maintain that and get better.